What's up, teammates? So, I've been watching some Menshew Mania tapes, trying to get some film on Menshew Mania, more of an understanding of his game, so I could find more to be excited about when it comes to him starting, because, he's a starter. It's time to really hope that what he does can come through. And watching his film, you know, he's a better scrambler than I gave him credit for. He's really actually very creative in the pocket. Um, he still has the occasional just where's that ball going type throws. He still has, happy feet. He has happy feet when he gets in the pocket almost all the time. He never really good at setting his feet more often than not. But he can manufacture plays. He can extend. As soon as there's a collapse in the pocket, he gets out of there and looks downfield. So he has good football talent, and that's what I think. Those who wanted Minshew to start and those who want Aiden to start, uh, figure out that's where we disagree. That's where we don't understand each other's view. Menshew is a better football player. Aiden O'Connell is a better quarterback. So, for those of us who love football as far as the technical parts, looking at Minshew play football is hard to watch. Like I said, terrible feet, off balance throws, hospital balls, just weird that ball going type throws, and it's it's nerve wracking. But if you like watching football and you don't care about all that extra stuff, you just want a quarterback who can get a first down, then Minshew's your guy. He has the Menshew Magic, and I just watched his highlights. There's not a lot of just real game film on him, so that I could find. I'm sure it's out there. I just couldn't find it. But when you look at his highlights, a lot of his highlights are from the creation. So those things that are, kind of a hindrance to his developing as a quarterback, as far as the happy feet and leaving the pocket. If you don't have a good offensive line, that's exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to get back there and get settled and start watching. They need you to get back there. They need you to do more rolling out. They need you to do, more escaping than, pocket play when the weak offensive line. And Gardner Minshew is just that. Now, I'm not saying that he can't sustain it longer and, cut the bad habits out and, get himself the chance that he deserves and take advantage of the situation he has and the players around him and excel. Like he's done it before, and if he can do it consistently, then we just like we would be in business with Aiden, we're in business with Gardner if he can do what he does best consistently. If he can eliminate the bad throws and, the hospital balls, we really have a talented quarterback in Gardner Minshew. So that's a 50-50 thing, and I realize that as fans, 50% maybe here, 50% maybe there, but it's really more of a preference of what type of football you like seeing, what type of football you believe is successful. And I just believe, the when you get down, the fundamentals is what wins in the long term. Because Menshew's magic involves, his veteran abilities. Like one of the things, as an example, when Menshew threw the touchdown, his first touchdown in the first preseason game. Can't remember who Vikings, I believe he played. So anyway, when he got the defensive lineman jumped off sides. He had a free play. He checked with the ref to make sure he had a free play, and he did a pass that was smooth off into the corner. The wide receiver got both hands on it and touchdown. So this is not a play that Aiden O'Connell would have made because the defender jumped offside because Menshew did a quick little handshake because he noticed the defender that was over there was watching his hand to try to read the count. So he did a little hand fake, and that guy jumped off sides. And that's not something that Aiden has yet, or maybe he has to develop. I mean, now seeing Menshew do it, it helps put that type of thing in his game. But there's other things that Menshew does. There's the quick look-offs, pump fakes, those small little veteran things that you can do to send guys just a little bit off balance to make sure you get a play done that, if you played enough football and you're wily enough and, like I said, as a quarterback, Gardner doesn't have the best quarterback skills, but he's a great player. He's a good football player. And that's what gets him going with his victories and his wins and his losses. He can do that good quarterback and stuff consistently. He could be great. I mean, we've talked about this. We've talked about the moment. It's all about your head. I mean, we know Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback in the league, technically, because he keeps winning, but his quarterback skills aren't perfect. But his escapability, and you can rely on his throws, and that's why he's the best. It's not much to do with it, and he has good, technique. His technique is not perfect. I don't know, no one's is, but I never really look at film on Patrick because fuck him. But he's talented in that manner. If Gardner Menshew can take his game, which is very similar, increase his fundamentals, decrease his bad throws, then Gardner Menshew can take us to the playoffs and as far as his arm can take us. So I'm not doubting Gardner Menshew. His style of football is not the style of football that I think will be productive when everybody's good, right? I don't think his tricks to get somebody to jump offside is not going to work on a talented defensive end. His veteran tricks may not work against top-level defense because they know those things. They've seen those tricks as well. So that's what concerns me as a football fan. And other people, that doesn't concern them. That's not what they believe their quarterback needs to do. So it's not an argument. Let's not make it as harsh as it is. I'm trying to make it, I hate Menshew and Aiden's the only way to go. I just respect the type of game that Aiden has more than the type of game that Menshew has. That doesn't mean that Menshew's game can't win. It doesn't mean that Menshew Magic won't work. It's just a preference as far as football goes and what each person who watches football believes is the right technique to win. So we'll see if the Menshew Magic technique can stay up. That's what I want to see. I mean, let's see. The best case scenario is Menshew comes in, Menshew Magic works out. Somehow, Aiden has to come in for 3 or 4 games. Then we go to the playoffs. Somehow we get close to the Super Bowl, but we don't make it. And, we got Menshew. We love Menshew. We're going to keep him. He's our quarterback in the future. And then either we keep Aiden for sure, or people saw Aiden's talent and we get to trade Aiden somewhere else because, someone's trying to notice what he can do, and we can get some good draft capital off of that, that would be what we would like to have the most. I mean, I'd rather keep Aiden on my team, of course, but if we get good draft capital for him, that's what we would do. That would just be the smart thing as a team. That would be the best case scenario for the Raiders, right? And the best thing for Gardner would just be to lose, keep up the magic and lose the mistakes, and if he can do that, get us to the playoffs, and prove that he's developing, he's good and getting better, then he's on top. Maybe we still keep Aiden because he's growing and he's learning, and we're in a great shape. That's what's best for Gardner Minshew. And if what's best for Aiden is, Minshew comes out and stinks it up. He comes in and blows it up. But that's not what's best for the Raiders, so no one wants to see that. I don't want to see a quarterback controversy. Now that Gardner Minshew is the starter, he's the starter. I'd rather see Aiden only have to come in for an emergency type reason. If Gardner Minshew is the starter and he's performing, keep him there. I have no problem with that. That's what I want, is to win. I want to enjoy the game even more. So, what else do we have up here? Still waiting for some player interviews, though. I just want to read some eyes. Just want to see where the general direction is. I mean, they had the practice at the field, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything about interviews. I'm still looking for them, but hopefully, I'll find them eventually. I just didn't find them in time for this. But with all that being said, we've gone through it. Menshew might be able to do it. The magic might stay. Hopefully, there's no quarterback controversy. Hopefully, the offensive line gets better as Menshew's scrambling is as not required as often. And the Raiders kick booty and we go all the way through these. So, as a Raider fan, that's what, I see happening. I hope is happening. But what's actually happening, the silver lining, in my opinion, because, like I said, I like fundamental football, and I think that's the way we win. I think that Gardner Minshew, if he doesn't perform in these first 4 games, might be losing his spot. He definitely has to win the first game. And if he doesn't keep performing and our offensive line becomes extremely healthy, there may be a change in the guard at that type of situation. I don't really want that to come, but with that situation with Gardner Minshew starting, takes all the pressure off of Aiden now, though. So Aiden's in a great position right now because he's not starting. All the pressure's on Menshew, but we know Menshew's a good player and he can handle pressure. It's the only reason he's here, because he's used his ability as a football player and his competitive nature to get wins and to be able to pull through. And I think he could do it here. All he has to do is eliminate the duck balls and the wild throws, and he's golden. His escapability is a good thing. If he can do a little more inside the pocket, a little more within the structure of the offense, is what the coaches would like to see. More of that than more creation, but winning is winning. And right now, with no offensive line, or with the offensive line as terrible as it is, Gardner Minshew's creativity, his wantingness to leave the pocket early, and his his scrambling and escapability and his willingness to take downfield shots. He's willing to let it go, and he's willing to get it picked, but he's also able to get it into the zone. So, like we would if we had Aiden, we just going to hope for the best out of their performance and see what happens from there. So, silver lining is, if Gardner Minshew performs, we're in good shape. If Gardner Minshew doesn't perform, we'll have more time for our offensive line to get healthy and get more fluid, because Gardner Minshew is not getting pulled until the first 4 games, and he might not get pulled after that. But he'd have to throw 4 interceptions in the first game to even be considered to be pulled in the first 4 games. I think win, loss, or draw, the first 4 games of his. So let's get ready. Let's get our shirts together. You guys get some Menshew made under the jerseys. I'm keeping my Aiden O'Connell jerseys, but you guys get out there and get ready to rally around Menshew madness and see if we can get the mullet back to take us to the promised land. Who knows? Anyway, let's hope for the best. I think he can do it. I never said he couldn't. I just thought the other form of football is the winning type of football. But let's see what happens. I'm happy and ready for it. So, like I said, let's see what happens. Guru out.